What a week for the thick boys, all making headlines this week. Jordan Morris, Weston McKennie, Owen Otasawie. What's up? My name is Sam. This is the Yank Report, this show where we talk about the U.S. men's national team. And, you don't see a lot of thick guys in soccer, but we have a few. Came out that Jordan Morris is open to a move to Europe. Jordan famously wanted to stick around in MLS, stay close to family. But it's come out that after his latest MLS Cup run, he's open to a move to Europe if the right move materializes. And look, I know Jordan gets a lot of hate because he might not be the most technical player out there, but whenever I watch a team like Werder Bremen, I feel like Jordan could come in right away and be an offensive boom to that team. And I'm just pointing at Werder Bremen, but there's a lot of teams in top flight in Europe that could use a player like Jordan. Owen Otasawie got his Premier League debut in a game against Chelsea, and he came on and looked like an absolute unit on the field. Strong defensive performance in their win over Christian Pulisic's Chelsea. He had some offensive contributions, but I think the play of the day for me was whenever he absolutely bodied Mason Mount going for a loose ball. He also had some opportunities on offense. He had a shot on goal that he kind of bungled, wasn't the most technical player with the ball, but defensively he is a beast. And finally, Weston McKennie seems like he solidified himself in that Juventus midfield. He got another start today, and he just keeps putting in performance after performance, looking like one of Juventus's most consistent players. But let's move on to our Yank of the week. And this week, I got to give it to Tim Weah. Tim Weah had a long layoff following injury, and he's been trying to work his way back into the Lille team. I called him out last week because he had a not so great game against Celtic, but still managed to get a goal. This week, he put in a banger, man, off of a throw-in. Defender kind of mishandled the ball, and it popped up nicely for Timo. He took a volley, and boy, was it spectacular. Tim's that kind of player with that kind of quality in his locker. He can do things like that on the field. That's what makes him special and so hyped, and that's why he's a player that people believe can shake up the U.S. men's national team lineup. He's got to get consistent minutes. He's got to show that he can be a player for Lille over 90 minutes consistently, game in, game out, stay healthy. But whenever you see him hit goals like that, Christian Pulisic was back in the starting lineup for Chelsea, which is always a good sign for U.S. men's national team fans. And just right off the jump, he was looking like his old self. He made a lot of things happen on that left side for Chelsea. He was combining really well with Mason Mount and Chilwell out there. Early on, he created one of Chelsea's best opportunities of the day whenever he burned Wolves defender and played in Timo Werner, who kind of bungled that. Timo not having a great start to the year for Chelsea. Along with Kai Havertz, man, those two Germans that just got so many headlines over the offseason, not looking good. In the second half, Christian got moved to right wing, and he wasn't quite as effective. He didn't seem like he had that chemistry with Reece James, but all in all, he still looked like one of Chelsea's better attackers out there. If he can stay healthy, Christian is Christian. He's going to put up those numbers. Now out to Germany, where Borussia Dortmund faced off against Werder Bremen, and both Josh Sargent and Gio Reyna got starts. Not a great game from the spectator standpoint. Gio created some chances early on, man. I mean, he put one on a platter from Moukoko, who kind of bungled it. And then later on, he created one of Dortmund's goals whenever he played it into Sancho, who took a shot and it ricocheted. I believe it fell to Guerrero, who finally put it in. Gio is looking fantastic for a Dortmund team that is not looking great at the moment. Gio is one of their most effective attacking players. He creates a lot. He's actually scoring goals right now, but man, Dortmund is definitely missing their big Norwegian striker. Ever since he's gone out of the lineup, Dortmund's form has just gone downhill. They just fired their coach. They just brought in a new coach. Well, they just promoted a new coach. So we'll see how that plays out for Gio for the rest of the season. But right now, Gio is playing some fantastic soccer. Speaking of Americans playing fantastic soccer, Anthony Robinson had one of the games of his career so far against Liverpool over the weekend. Anthony faced a lot of criticism during the November friendlies. A lot of people are questioning whether Anthony is the answer for the U.S. men's national team at left back moving forward. But whenever you see performances from him like that, even for a bad Fulham team that might be heading for relegation, Anthony Robinson's been a bright spot for him, and if he can solidify himself in that lineup, solidify himself as a Premier League player, that'll only further his opportunities to get into a U.S. men's national team lineup that is just getting better and better by the day. Finally, let's go back out to Spain, where Yunus Musah really saved Valencia at the dying minutes of the game, man. Valencia was in a Copa del Rey matchup against a lower division side, and were not looking good. Yunus came in very late in the game, and then off of a corner kick, had a shaky volley that ended up in the back of the net. Yunus continuing to be a consistent name on that Valencia team sheet. Well, that's it for me. It was an exciting midweek with so many Americans in action, and I feel like there's just goal after goal after goal every week that I have more goals to report to you, and that's awesome. And they're coming from different places. So if you like the content, make sure you give it a like, make sure you subscribe. It's a new channel, it's growing. If you like this type of content, please stick around, come back for the next video. My name is Sam, and this is the Yank Report.